I am beyond excited for this full moon that starts today. I believe the portal opens at about 10 o'clock Eastern time, and the full moon being in Leo, my moon sign, means that my body is going to produce a very special oil called the Christos. It's produced by the claustrum, travels down the spinal column and sits in the solar plexus, where it is joined by a very special oil, then sits at the very base of your spine. And then, of course, you can elevate that Kundalini rising, all of these other things. But anyways, I'm just so excited to close out the year of the snake. And yes, you heard me right. January 1st is, yes, it's now the Gregorian calendar or the Julian calendar set forward by Julius Caesar back in 46 BC was when all this started. So it used to be, and if you look at Chinese New Year, that they celebrated New Year, and it varies from culture to culture, but roughly February 17th to the beginning of March. And then, of course, that's what April Fool's was all about. I believe it was a king of France in the 1500s declared people that still celebrated actual New Year's around this time of year as fools. Very typical, especially for the Catholic Church. Their main tool is shame, 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 guilt, guilt, guilt. So that makes a whole bunch of sense. But the reason I'm so excited is as we close out the year of the snake, it has been all about shedding the things that do not need to move forward with you, the mindsets, the people, the self-limiting beliefs, everything that we allow ourselves to kind of get mired or mucked in the mud with. Allow yourself to shed all of these things as we move in. Like I said, February 17th is roughly about the time that the year actually ends. And then moving into the beginning of March is the actual new year. I mean, these things, you can go look up all these things yourself and check out the Julian calendar. And, of course, January 1st was set as New Year's by Julius Caesar back in 46 BC. Because it celebrates the god Janus, January. Anyways, enough of that. The whole reason that I'm excited about this, and the reason I'm making this video, is to remind you, if there are things that you are feeling don't serve you, if there are mindsets, thoughts, beliefs, people, ways of being, habits, whatever does not serve you, this is your time, especially during the full moon today and tomorrow, to kind of go within. Take a look at what you have been perpetuating in your own life. That's what I've been doing over the past, month, easily 2 months actually, is just noticing, where have I been perpetuating my own suffering? What am I carrying with me that's allowing me to suffer because I'm making the choice to keep those things in my life, to keep those things in my mindset, and to keep those things in my energetic and physiological systems. This is really a great 2 weeks, and especially the next 2 days, for you to just write out the things that you no longer want to take with you, the things that you want to release and let go of. And as you're releasing and letting go of those things, be grateful for them. I am so grateful for all of my challenges because they led me here. They made me look within. They made me really pay attention to the things that I was either A, missing out on, or B, again, creating my own suffering. People look at me like I got a horn growing out of the center of my forehead when they ask me, like, what are some of the biggest blessings in your life? A, breaking my neck. One of the biggest blessings ever, because of course I would not have found breathwork, neuroscience, and psychology had that not happened. B, another blessing was cancer, my first diagnosis in 2016. And then, of course, the recurrence on pretty much my birthday of last year, of 2025. And again, it's because it forced me to look at why my body was eating itself, why my body was fighting itself. And because these things happened, it allowed me to move within, it allowed me to make changes, it allowed me to be grateful for the things that showed me where I was failing myself, where I was choosing to suffer, where I was really stagnant and allowing things to become sedentary inside of my body and inside of my energetic systems. So over these next 2 weeks, as you write out the things that you want to release, the things you want to let go of, remember to be grateful for those things. They led you here. And then after you're done writing all of those things, or amidst writing those things, make sure you also think about the things you want to replace. That's the key. Being a former addict and alcoholic, one of the keys to beating addiction and alcoholism, or anything that you want to change habitually, is not simply removing that thing, it's replacing it with something that is good for you, that is healthy for you, something that is going to move you closer to what you want to experience. So as you're writing out the things that you want to release or let go of, make sure that you also focus and write down and really think about and feel into the things that you want to call in to your experience. So many times we get caught up in what I don't want any further, what I don't want to experience, what I want to let go of, or what I want to change. Okay, but what do you want on the other side of that? That's where many of us fail, including myself in the past, is what do I want to replace in place of that thing? What do I want to call in to that empty space that I have now created, that new potential, that new possibility that I'm looking to call in? So let yourself write out both of those things. Let yourself think on those things over the next 2 days, especially, and over the next 2 weeks. What do you want to let go of? What do you want to release? What does not serve you? And it doesn't matter if you've known people your whole life. It doesn't matter if they're family. It doesn't matter how dear and near to your heart they are. If they don't serve you, if they're holding you back, then you must release and let them go. And in that way, as far as I'm concerned, you actually get to honor that person even more by doing so, because now they're not wrong. Now they're not a bad person. They're just not good for you, or they're just not aligned with what you want to call into your life. So the more that you can clear that space for yourself, what do you know? You just created pure potential and open possibilities for you to call in and create the things that you want. There's one thing that I love more than anything above all of these sayings that I've heard is your new life that you're calling in is going to cost you your old one. We don't get it for free. You don't get to move into the thing that you want. You don't get to move in to what you want to experience until you let go of what you don't want to experience, what does not serve you, what does not feed and fuel your passion and fire. So as we're moving into this amazing Leo moon, think about the things you want to call in. Think about the things you want to release. One of my favorite exercises to do is I actually take a piece of paper, or even 2 pieces of paper. On one, write down what I'm looking to release, what I want to let go of, what no longer serves me. And on the other paper, write down what I'm calling in, what makes me feel good, what serves me, what do I want to experience more of in my life. And then after I write those things out, which is what I'm going to do tonight for my full moon ceremony, as well as I'm going to do a 3-hour medicine wheel with myself, a whole bunch of breath work, meditation, yoga, all of these things that really align the energetic systems of the body. Is I will take those pieces of paper, and in that ceremony at some point in time, I usually fold them up like an accordion. I picture and think of the things I'm releasing and letting go of. I also picture and think of and feel into the things I'm calling into my experience. And then I set it ablaze. And I watch as that paper moves from a physical thing to becoming air, ash, energy, moving into something else. This transformation that happens when you allow yourself to burn things as an effigy. And that's what I'm going to do tonight for myself. So I invite you to do the same thing. Even if you don't do all the breath work and meditation and things I'm going to be doing tonight, just simply writing out a list of what you want to let go of and what you want to call into your life can really serve you in the best way. Whether you believe this stuff, whether you are tuned into it or not, I promise you it works. It allows you to not just mentally shift things and allow yourself to kind of come more into alignment with what you want. But your body responds physiologically. Your DNA is listening to every thought. It is listening to everything you say. Your DNA responds to your feelings, those magnetic resonance that come from your thoughts and your beliefs and your habitual actions. So give yourself the chance for this full moon to make you the most important person and the most important thing in your universe, because everything comes from you. Everything that you're seeing is a transmission of your interpretation of all the information you're taking in, all the thoughts that you consistently think, the beliefs that you feel, and those habitual systems that you continue to run. Give yourself permission to review all of those things. Vacuum shame and guilt out of it. Give yourself permission to forgive yourself for the things that you've done, the things that you thought, the person you thought that you were, so that you can move in to the person, to the energy, to the being that you have always been. Letting yourself tune in to that original signal, the original you, that divine being that by birthright absolutely deserves everything you desire. I love you so much. Make it an amazing life, warriors.